Hey, Mosaics listeners. I just wanted to pop in before today's episode for an announcement that happened after the recording took place. On Monday, there was a presidential executive order issued, and it does suspend the U.S. refugee admissions program for up to 90 days. And at that point, it will be under the determination of the president whether or not to resume it. So, what that means for Idaho, we are prepared to welcome a little more than 400 more people this fiscal year who have suffered and fled persecution, who have gone through the long and thorough refugee vetting and application process and are very close to finally coming to their new home. But in the meantime, we do have to suspend those operations, those welcomes, until the program is resumed. So our hearts are hurting a lot for, people who have been waiting a long time to get here and live their life in peace. Our hearts are hurting for a lot of Idaho family members who came through resettlement who are desperately waiting to reunite with their families. It can take years. People can miss out on a lot of their children's childhood, not see their spouses for a long time. We have Idaho families who were weeks, months away from that day to reunite with their families, and now we don't know when the day will come when they get to be with them. So it's a very heavy time right now, and we know that a lot of Americans, a lot of Idahoans really care about refugees and about being a place that will provide hope and will provide welcome. Our country has been welcoming refugees since World War II. We saw how important it is to provide peace through opening our arms to people who are persecuted. And I know that it's very important. So you may be hurting as well, like we are, and sad for these families. But we do hope that, after 90 days, there will be a report from the Secretary of State submitted to the president. That report will recommend whether or not refugee resettlement is in the best interest of our country. We believe that it is. And if you would like to have a voice in that, we do encourage you to show your support and your welcome in your networks, with the leaders in your community, with elected officials. Your voice matters. And the more that we can all show that we care about the dignity of every human, we care about being a place of peace, of welcome, and we do what we would want someone to do for us if we were ever in that situation. So this is a time for our community to really come together and to show our love and our support. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any more questions about what's going on, about what you can do, please do reach out. I'm at Mosaics at idahorefugees.org. The two amazing young women we're about to hear from today are from Afghanistan, and it is because of refugee resettlement that they're able to continue their education, continue their dreams for themselves and their careers. So we're very thankful for the program, and we're thankful for them. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy the conversation. Hello, welcome to Mosaics. I'm your host, Holly Beach with the Idaho Office for Refugees. Thanks so much for joining us for stories of new Americans in Idaho. If you like our show, if you've been enjoying it, I do ask that you please like and subscribe, leave us a review, reach out to us at Mosaics at idahorefugees.org with your ideas and questions. We'd love to hear from you. Today, I'm really excited to be here with Razma and Hasina Jalali. They are two sisters, come from a big family, and they are studying here in Boise, resettled into Idaho from Afghanistan 2 years ago. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us here today.
Mm-hmm. So Razma, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in life right now.
As you said, my name is Razma Jalali, and I'm originally from Afghanistan. I came to USA about 2 years ago when the Taliban took over power in Afghanistan. And I'm currently studying computer science with a minor in political science at BSU. And thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, thank you. And Hasina, what do you have going on in life right now? Tell us a bit about you.
I'm Hasina Jalali, and thanks for having me here. I'm a senior at Bora High School.
Great. And what inspired you to want to share? Razma, you've been involved with our Refugee Speakers Bureau. You wrote a beautiful essay for Welcoming Week in September. I know you've shared, I think, at some Refugee Speakers Bureau events. What inspires you to want to share your story?
There's a lot of stuff that I know people are not aware of, like the situation of Afghan girls and women, and the process that we have been through, like from Afghanistan to America. And there's like a lot of details that I want the people to know about it. So that's why there's like a way we can help people to understand more about the refugee resettlement and also the situation of some people in other countries that a lot of social medias and people they do not like to talk about it or like their voices are silent. So that's why it's like a good opportunity to raise voices and help with those who that do not have someone to speak on behalf of them.
Hmm. What about you, Hasina? What motivates you to want to share your story with others?
I wanted to tell the people, like especially who are like giving up easily in their life. I want to tell them that like to not give up. Life is not always easy. You have to face the challenges, hardships, and problem to make you stronger. So I want to tell them about my story too, so they can like see how I went through different hardships and like problems,
Hmm.
and I still not gave up, and now here I am.
Here you are, and studying at Bora High School. So you girls are able to go to school. I know that if you were still in Afghanistan, that would not be the case. Can you share a little bit about that situation?
Yes, unfortunately, the situation is very tough for Afghan women and girls, but it was pretty normal where like in the past where we had like Islamic Republican government, we were allowed to go to school, go to university, have a job, drive, and wear whatever clothes that we want. We were allowed to go outside without a male guardian, but since the government has changed, a lot of changes happened for women and girls, and I know there's like still a lot of my relatives and my friends who had big dreams one day who were um, talking about becoming doctors, engineers, but unfortunately, right now, the only option that they have is marriage and motherhood. It's like a traditional stuff. They are not even allowed to go outside, have a picnic with their friends. They should have a male guardian if they want to go to somewhere. And like a few months ago, I think, there was a new law from the Taliban that says women are not allowed to even speak in public because their voices are gonna get make men to get interest on them. So it's something that they're trying to get rid of all the women in Afghanistan. And as you know, women are 48% population in Afghanistan, and this is unfair to just 48% of women in Afghanistan, and it slows down country's growth. And just their voices are gone, and their dreams are gone, their voices are silenced. There's no one that can help with that situation.
It's so heartbreaking, especially when there were years of you growing up where you were able to study and dream, and now to see what's happening is devastating. And I'm so sorry for your loved ones there that are facing that hardship, and hoping for good things in the future to change for them, and sending a lot of peace and hope to them in the meantime, because I know it's
Hopefully.
devastating what's happening. And thank you for raising that and reminding us of the realities of what's happening. Um, Hasina, you said that you want people to have hope. Can you share about how, in your time here in the US, you were able to work through challenges and hardships to find your place here in the US?
Yes, so first when I come to Idaho, like everything was really different from than my country. And then especially like language was the hardest part for me. I couldn't understand or I couldn't express myself well. And also the culture, the people, the way they dressed, and everything was so different.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I first come here, I felt like I didn't belong, and I felt really lost. And also the memories and everything was still in my head from Afghanistan, like all those bad situations.
Mm-hmm.
But I still didn't give up. And then I went to school, to summer school. Then I met people, some people there. I met friends, and also my teachers were really nice and really kind. And I was really surprised because the way the teacher are talking and like behaving with the students is way different than in America. In my country, the teacher will just like yell at you. They will beat you up, and like some of them, and they will just like think of the students of their slaves, and they will just do whatever they want to. But here in America, the teachers are really kind. They will listen to you, they will respect you, And I was really happy. I was like, oh my God, this is the life I wanted to be.
Mm.
And school area, friends, teachers, and everything was, when I came to America, was really good. And then I was I should not give up because now I have to erase all the bad memories from Afghanistan from my head and start a new beginning.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you found that kindness. I imagine what your first day was like. What was that like on your first day when you were headed into the classroom in a brand new setting?
So first, we had to wake up and then go to bus stop with my dad. And then, so when we went to bus stop, my dad left us. And then when I look at him from the window, I just start crying.
Aw.
And then we went to school. I entered the class. I was so scared, and I just went to like a table at the very back, and then I sit there all alone by myself. And then my teacher told me to go and like join the people, like other people sit with them together. I was really scared. I didn't even like say hi to anyone. And then my teacher, when she was asking some question, I was really scared. Like, what if she asked me a question and then I don't know the language, and everyone will laugh at me? But it wasn't like that. By like the day passing and like I get used to it. I was talking to people even though my English was not good. We were using body language to like tell whatever we wanted to.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of people that did their English was not good as well, but we could communicate really well. We
Yeah.
could understand each other's body language and the really little English that we know.
Did anyone else speak Dari there?
Yes, there was some of my friends, but they were not in the same classes with me, but same school.
And Razma, what was your first day of school like? Did you start out going to Boise State or did you finish high school? What was that like for you?
We actually started at the same grade. When I came to America, I was in ninth grade back in Afghanistan when I came here, so they put both of us in 10th grade. So the first day was the same, where my dad had to like take us to the bus stop because we did not know where is the bus stop for our school. And then it was the same where my dad left. I was so sad because like, what if I get lost and I don't know the language either? When we went to school, it was the same process where I was scared to talk to the people. I was scared to ask. I did not even know how to find my classes because I did not have the schedule. So when I went there, I met one of my Afghan friends, and she helped me to get my schedule, and then I found my class. When I went to the class, there was like a lot of people, but that class was for refugees, so I was not that scared because nobody speaks English very well in that class. Then I sat, like Hasina said, in a table where there was no one, so I was scared. I didn't want anyone to ask me any question because I was not able to understand very well. Even though we learned English language back in my country, but when we came here, the accent was very different, and the way that people speak was like too fast. I was like, how am I even going to catch all these words, and how am I even be able to process all this stuff in my mind? But when I sat there, my teacher came to me and asked me about what's my name, where am I from, and I was able to answer those questions. Cause that was just like easy English for me. And then she told me to go join one of my Afghan friends who was sitting in another table, and I did not have a computer at that time. So I was sharing the computer with my friends, and that's how my first day went. And then when I came back home, I was like, "Thanks God, this day was like a good day, and it went well." And what I had the imagination from school, it was different. And in Afghanistan, as she mentioned, the teachers are not very nice, and they're gonna not treat you very respectfully. But here in America, teachers are like best friends to you, and they're always there to support you instead of punishment.
Wow. I'm so glad you both had good experiences and were able to make those connections and help ease. I know it's always scary when you don't know what to expect. That can be the scariest part. And so once you see it and you're like, okay, I can do this. And you chose to go into computer science. What drew you to that?
I don't know what happened to me, but since childhood until now, my dreams are getting smaller and smaller. Because when I was a child, I wanted to do like bigger things, like be an astronaut. But I don't know, but maybe the stuff that happened to me in Afghanistan had like a big impact on me. When I came to America, I wanted to do something like through the government, but I found out that you don't have to study a major to get into the government. Of course, there's like a lot of stuff you should know, but that's why I got the minor in political science, and I do a lot of community works that's gonna help me to get into government. And I do computer science because I also love working with programming languages, and because coding is something really interesting for me. And I already know the three languages of computer, which is like I do it as a fun thing, making website games when I have like a free time.
Nice.
So when I took some computer science classes in high school, I found it really interesting. I took different subjects, like I took some business classes, economy classes, English, biology, science, but I really found myself into the computers and programming and coding. So that was a reason why I chose to do computer science with a minor in political science.
That's great. Hasina, what year are you at Bora, and do you have dreams of what you'd like to study next?
Yes. I wanted to be a doctor because when we were back in Afghanistan, I saw a lot of people that they couldn't afford the doctor. We don't have any Medicare or anything in Afghanistan. You just have to pay cash and go to the doctor. And if you don't have money, so you can just stay at home, or maybe if you were really sick, you would just die.
Mm.
And when I was thinking about that situation, I just wanted to be a doctor and make my own hospital there, and like help anyone for free that they can't afford the doctor. But then when I come to America, I saw that um, my dreams of becoming a doctor, it just went away from me.
Mm.
And then I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I don't know why, but it just changed. But I'm still thinking of what should I study. But I'm thinking of studying law to
Mm.
become a lawyer.
Yeah,
And yeah.
that would be really cool. Do you know what kind of law you'd want to practice?
I'm still not sure, but I was thinking of doing criminal justice.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about your family, your siblings, what life was like for you as kids growing up? Any favorite foods that you had, or traditions, or things you liked to do together?
Back in Afghanistan, my family and I had a really normal life, where my dad had a really good balanced job where he was able to provide us a good shelter, a home to live, healthy food, dress, toys, and everything. And my mom was the first teacher that I had in my life. She taught me how to read and write because in Afghanistan we do not have kindergartens. We might have some, but they're not like in an area where you can access them
Mm.
easily. So my mom taught me how to do maths, how to read and write in diary, and also the religious stuff. When I went to the first grade, I was ahead of all of my classmates because my mom already taught me everything. And the teacher would always use me as a good example for students because you know how there's like competition between students.
Hmm.
They're like, okay, if Rasma can be this, I can be too. So that's why I was like a good example to students. And life was pretty normal. As I said, my mom was a housewife. My dad was the only one working. And I have like a lot of good childhood memories because I grew up in an area where my house was closer to my cousin's house. And as I was the second child, but my older sister, she never played with me. I don't know why. She was a really quiet a child. I was quiet too, but not that much. But she was all by herself since we were kids. But I was trying to join my cousins when we were playing or have like fun with them. I wish there was a way we could go back to those memories and have them just like once again in our life. But those memories going to stay in my mind forever, and then it's going to be like the best part of my life.
Yeah, I can relate to you about the cousins. My mom didn't, she stayed at home didn't have a job outside the house. And so in the summers when school was out, a lot of my cousins would come over all day and we would just play in the yard all day. My parents bought this giant gray van to fit all of us in it. And I just loved having just the livelihood, the noise, the play with all these. I don't know how my mom handled looking back as an adult. I'm like, I would have gone crazy with all these kids running around. But as a kid, I hold those memories very close to my heart as well. What about you, Hasina? Do you have anything that sticks out from childhood or traditions that you really enjoyed?
Yes, as Razma said, we were close to our cousins, and I was always playing with my cousins. Razma was a quiet child, but I was not. I was a troublemaker. I was always making troubles with my cousins. With my cousins, we just wanted to play and be good humans, but it will always end up with fighting and beating up each other, making troubles. I was a really not quiet child, and so yeah, I have a lot of memories with my cousins. And as Rasma said, we wish we could I wish we could go back to those moments and once more, like live that moment once again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just gotta hold the memories close. Do your cousins still live in Afghanistan today?
Yes.
Okay. Do you talk with them much?
Not that much. The last time that I talked to him was maybe like 3 months ago through the phone, because the internet is like so expensive in there, and they're not able, because they're girls, and I have like a stronger connection with my female cousins than the male ones, because we are like kind of the same age, and we were like friends since childhood. But unfortunately, they don't have a job, so they can afford what they want by themselves. And the economy is very low, so they're not able to afford the price of the internet. And yeah, we are not in connection that much, but sometimes, yeah, we do talk through social media.
Okay. What's something in the process of resettling in Idaho that you went through that you don't think many people might not understand about what it's like to resettle somewhere?
Of course, it's hard. Even if you want to move from one house to another house, you're not gonna get used to, and you're not gonna get organized in that house for like 1 or 2 months. And it's kind of the same for resettling from one country to another one. But Idaho is doing a really good job on all those process for refugees. They really helps with a lot of stuff for newcomers who are in need of those helps. And for example, the school is the first thing when you came to America. All the people who are working for the refugees is the first thing that they do, that make sure the kids are in that family get to attend the school and learn language, and also the English classes that they provide for um, adults really helps with the people. And there's like a lot of processes that they do, and I think that's why Idaho is a really good place for refugees to choose as a newcomer. And yeah, there's like a lot of good stuff that they do.
What about you, Hasina? What was something about the experience of resettling that people might not understand if they haven't gone through it?
So as Rasma said, it's really difficult to move from your country because you're gonna left everything. As I was a child when I moved to here, I was like 13 or 12 when I moved from Afghanistan, and when I came here, I was still a child, but it was really hard for me to like go through all of those processes. But I think um, when you go to a new country, learning a new language and meeting like new people and stuff, it's really hard because some people will not understand. Even and I'm in school, when I speak like broken English, like not all of them, but some of the students, they will just like laugh like not out loud, but just like giggle and like
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys cannot understand how it feels to like move to another country, then you learn a new language, be in school, but
Yeah, and I think oftentimes people who are hard on someone who doesn't know English fully, they themselves probably only speak one language. So you're already way ahead.
Yes.
So speaking multiple languages is such an amazing skill to have, and you have it. And if anyone ever gives you flack for that, I bet they only speak one language.
Yes.
So.
And I was some people, when they were like acting weird to me, I was just telling them, you speak English because that's the only language you know, and I speak English because that's the only language you know.
Yeah.
And I can speak like two more languages. And I already like some of them were my friends, and I know my GPA was higher than them. My GPA was 3.9, but they was like lower than me. And I was like, okay, when you want to like make fun of me, just first look at your GPA.
I like that self-confidence. Yeah. You speak Dari, English, and what's the third
Pashto.
one? Pashto.
Yes.
Are Dari and Pashto very similar, or are they completely different?
Not at all. They're completely different languages.
Wow.
The Persian language in Dari is very similar, but the accent is different. So
Okay. Okay. Do you still speak Dari and Pashto most of the time? Like, or what when you're at home, what's like comfortable for you? What does your family like to speak together?
We speak Pashto in my family because that's the language that my dad and my mom
Okay.
taught us since we were a kid. But I do not speak Dari that much nowadays because I'm not in connection with a lot of Afghan people.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
as I work as an interpreter, I do have to speak or like do the translation in Dari. But yeah, that's the only time where I am speaking in Dari language, is doing my job, doing the interpretation for newcomers.
Oh, you do interpretation for newcomers. What's
Yes.
that like for you?
It's really good. I like to meet new people, especially if they are like from my own country. So we have like a lot of things in common. And when I do that job, I have the opportunity to meet a lot of new people that are coming to Boise, Idaho. Then I make a connection and I make some new friends. So last week I was doing the interpretation for job classes, and I met the two sisters. They are very nice, and then we became good friends. So we're now like exchange the numbers, and now we are talking. So that's like a good way to find some people, like some friends from my own country.
Yeah, that's very cool. In your 2 years here, you've obviously had to process a lot. You've gone through a lot. You were so young when you had to leave your country. The circumstances were very difficult, but you have hope and you have passion and dreams. So, can you share for anyone else that might be feeling the difficulty and the pain from that journey? What are some ways that you found well-being within yourself or hope or healing? Are there anything that is it like anything with the community that you did or any personal practices that you do to help yourself to stay strong?
The first thing I would say is just believe on yourself, what you do. Don't care about what people say about you, because that's what I do. I don't care what people think about me. Um, because before I came to America, I was hearing all this stuff that when you want to go to America, you have to accept their religion, like you have to change your religion. That was like the main common things where people were talking back in my country.
Oh,
And you have to dress the way that they want you. And that was something that when I was coming to America, I was so scared because the way that I dress is the way that I like to be. And I knew if I came to America, then I would not change it. But when I came to America, I saw the people, they're very warm, welcome. And the way they treat us was very different than what I heard. So I always give myself rewards to stay stronger. And whenever something hard happened to me, or like have a bad day, or like something that I can't handle, I just say, it's okay. I've been to a lot of worse things than this. So this is going to be fine. Just everything needs a time. And then there's a quote that I always remind myself that as you go forward, everything is going to be better. It's not because things are getting easier. It's because you're getting stronger and you're getting used to those stuff. And there's another quote that says, if the life is getting easier than busier, then you should know that you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough for your dreams, for your goals, and all the things that you're passionate about. So I'm saying, even if this is something difficult for me, if I'm facing some challenges or struggles, that means that I'm doing something that faces all these things. So, like sometimes we're like, okay, if I do these things, then Razma, if you finish this lesson, then you can go and get boba. And
I love boba
like,
tea.
or like if you finish this exam and then get an A, so you can go and hang out with friends. So
Yeah.
that is the way that I advocate myself and then give myself a hope. And that is how I face all the challenges and go through all those challenges and come up with a success.
What about you, Hasina? The
Um,
We were just talking to like what brings you hope and healing, um, and strength. Are there any services or group or personal things that you do that help you to find healing?
So as I said, when I grew up growing up in Afghanistan is really hard. Like you have to face challenges and difficulties and stuff. So I grew up as a really strong person, and every challenges and problems that I faced, I just stay strong, believing in myself. I'm like, remember, you are the child who survived in Afghanistan, so you should not give up. And I'm just the way I'm making myself to go through the challenges and stuff and stay confident is just believing in myself and looking like back to Afghanistan and my friends who are still there and their dreams. I'm like, okay, I should not give up. I should still keep going. I should achieve my goals, what I have to, and be a person who can like at the future help some people who are like needs help.
Mm,
And I'm always that, yeah, staying confident, believing in myself, and like just keep going.
yeah.
And sometimes I just stay in front of the mirror and talk to myself. I'm like, you can do it, just a little bit more. Yeah.
Those positive
Yes.
messages for yourself. That's very important. Something I learned about myself as an adult is I have a very mean inner voice in there towards me. And so the more you can give yourself that same love and support that you would give a friend,
Hmm.
the better off. I'm trying to train myself to do that too, and to notice, when I'm having that inner critic, and just to speak more kindly to myself.
Yes.
So that's a good lesson. I found it interesting, Rasma, that you said back in Afghanistan, people said you'd have to change your religion when you came to the US. Because for me, that's a pillar of the US that I really value is freedom of religion. No one should be forced to practice and everyone should have the freedom to practice which religion they want. Did you find when you came here, did you find relief in discovering that you could still
Yes.
practice your religion?
And even back in Afghanistan, those were those crazy people that were saying those things. They were not educated enough. So, but as I said, I was a kid, so I was
But you had these
believing
like
everything
ideas.
that everyone was saying. So,
Yeah.
but as I grew up and then came to America, my perspective has changed a lot. So it's not the case, and I know that we have the freedom of speech, religion, and bear arms and all these human rights. I am aware of all my human rights, and I know what is if someone just like take away any of my rights, then I know how to raise my voice.
Mm, that's good. Can you share a special tradition from your culture that people might not know about, the Afghan culture, that you really enjoy?
Hmm. There's a lot of cultural stuff because Afghanistan, Afghan people are very rich in diversity of culture and a lot of languages and stuff. But the favorite one, the one that are like my favorite ones are our holidays, which we have like we celebrate New Year's, but it's not this. Our New Year's does not start the same as American ones. We do have an event like a Thanksgiving, but it's called Yelda.
Mm.
We do celebrate that one, and also the two special holidays for all the Muslims around the world is Eid, and those are the one. But unfortunately, in America, we do not have those days off. So
Yeah.
even if you have those holidays, you have to go to work, you have to go to classes, and it's not like we do not celebrate it the way that we used to celebrate it back in my country. Like, for example, we do have like a prayer on the first day of Eid for both Eid that we have in one year. We have to go to those prayers and then meet people and then just say Happy Eid or Eid Mubarak to everyone, to relatives and friends, go to each other's house, and we make some delicious desserts and foods during those days that we share with each other. But unfortunately, the only thing that we do is just letting our school know that we have this special day. But the good thing is that they're very flexible with our holidays, that they gives us the days off.
At
But I
school?
wish it was
That's good.
because even if you get the day off, but you're gonna miss all the stuff going on school. So
Yeah.
that's something that I don't want to face, because if you miss one day, then there's a lot of stuff that you have to catch up the next day.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are a lot of stuff. And Afghan people, the Yalda one is that we have. Not a lot of Muslims do celebrate that one, but Afghan people, we have it like as a Thanksgiving where family gathers together. We make foods like you do the turkey one, but we do not do turkey on that day. we are like pomegranates is very famous fruit that we have to have on the table on that night.
Oh, okay, pomegranates.
Yes.
Nice. What about you, Hasina? Do you have any favorite cultural traditions?
Yes, as Razma said, we have two Eids, and the Eids are my favorite. And the favorite part in Eid for me is we have a tradition where at the Eid, the elders they give money to the children,
Oh,
and we call it Eid. And that was my favorite part, like getting money from my dad, from my mom, from my uncles. Like that was my favorite part.
nice.
Yeah, and also something else is like our New Year. When we were back in Afghanistan, every New Year, all of my families, my uncles, we were going. There was a place called Qasaba, Tape Qasaba. We were going there and like enjoying like our New Year and stuff. But since we come here, we don't even know like which days our like New Year back in Afghanistan. But we celebrate the New Year now as in like American New Year.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
Okay. Is there anything about when you were kind of getting settled in your new life here, any cultural things that we do that you at first were like, what? Confused by, or it was just different for you?
Um, because like you know how people have like different opinion about like some places. I thought that American does not have a culture,
Mhm.
but hopefully I know everyone has a culture, and America also is like a very rich country in culture. When I came here, I thought the only thing that Americans have is just Christmas, and they do not have any other special events like holidays. Like, oh my God, guys, the life is going to be so boring for Americans
Yeah.
because they do not have Eid, so they do not have like we say Yalla, like it's Thanksgiving. But when I came to America, I saw all those events where people gathered together and like all those decoration in city, which is like my favorite in that part of the year. You're not gonna find me during the night at home, so I just go to all those places with my family. And yeah, that was like really surprising. But the first day when I came to America, so I had like a flight from Washington D.C. to Boise. It was evening when me and my family arrived to the Boise, and they take us from the airport to the temporary house that we have to stay like for a few weeks. I don't know which road was that, but that was like a very empty road. There was no lights. And then I was like, oh my God, does anyone even exist in this state? Because it's too quiet. The imagination that I had of America was like tall buildings, lightings, and people are walking on the street during the nights, coffee shops, restaurants, all this stuff. But when I came and I saw that road, like, I was like, my God, does anyone even, like I said, exist in this state? Where did they brought us?
Oh.
And then I stayed at home like for 2 weeks. Then I didn't go out, so I didn't had the chance to see the like downtown, the people. And there's like when there's special events, I go to them, I see the people. I was like, yeah, thanks God, I'm like in the right place.
Oh, good.
Because the uh, place I lived in Kabul, which is like a small city, but has like 7 million people
A small
population.
city.
Yes.
Way more residents than our state has.
Yes. And like when I was in Abu Dhabi, there was like also like a crowd place. When I came to um Boise, and then especially during the evening, that I was like, oh my God, this is not what I want. I
Yeah.
grew up and I used to crowded place and a lot of people, but yeah, but hopefully it's not the same as first night. It's getting way better, and I participate in a lot of events.
Yeah, you're starting to find where the places are that you want to be. I agree that I'm like, if I was new here and this was the only stretch of road I saw, I would think there was nothing to do here. So I can imagine that it takes time to be like, oh, there's this I like to do, or, these trails are cool, or this, it
Mhm.
takes time to find where you fit, probably.
Yes.
What about you? Anything here that you saw as strange at first, or that like culturally was very new to you?
So yeah, as Rasma said, when we came here, it was so quiet and like I was really depressed because I wanted to meet people and like talk to them and stuff. But um, now I don't want to be like I don't really want to be like around people. I just want to be alone by myself and stuff. Because I don't know, I used to be like I didn't used to be like this back in Afghanistan. I just wanted to be with people, with my friends and stuff. But stuff changed. And yeah, the one thing it was new, as it was Thanksgiving, they said you have to like, they're coming together, you're like making turkey and stuff. And they're like, that's the night you can like eat so much stuff. You can eat a lot. Your stomach will get like this much bigger. And I was
To
like,
wear your sweatpants.
yeah. And that was like new thing to me, and I was surprised. And also at school we have prom, and there's something else that,
Is that homecoming?
yes, homecoming.
Yeah.
And people were talking about it, and I told my friends because I wanted to go and see how it is and what it is. I told one of my hijabi friends, she is Arab, and I told her, let's go and like see how it is. She was like, no, don't go there. This is not for Muslims. No, she said it's haram. I was like, what does the people do there then? Well, like, what is haram about? She said there will be dancing, music, boys, girls all together. So this is not what Muslim could do. And I was like, okay. So then I haven't like been to any prom or homecoming or anything. It was also new to me, and I wanted to experience it.
Yeah.
That was something surprising for me because back in my country, we were not allowed to even talk to the boys, not be friends with boys, and the schools and class were separated. Even the schools were in a very different areas where they're away from each other. When I came here, so I was like, how does even the school allow the students to go and have like a party? Because in my country, if you even go to a party with like a boy, then you're gonna get a lot of trouble. You can get even kicked out of school because of doing that. So it was surprising for me that how school makes like opportunities for students to have fun instead of pushing them through a lot of stress and anxiety. But I think that's good where you have the same right as men and women, and they're equal, and nobody's there to make trouble for you.
Yeah. Yeah, those would be a lot of adjustments. Well, I'm really thankful to have you both and your family as part of our community. And I'm thankful that you're studying, you're finding your way. I know it's not always going to be perfect, and there's hardships along the way, but you two have a lot of love for your family. I can see it, and for each other, and so that will be a good foundation for you. And thanks for coming on Mosaics and sharing about yourselves and your culture and your journeys. Is there any last words you'd like to leave with us?
As a last sentence that I want to finish this conversation is for all the newcomers and also for Americans. First, let's start with Americans. They should they should make a community like to welcome everyone, because if no one wants to leave their home country, everyone loves the place that they were born, and if they want to leave it, it's because they are not safe there, or like they don't feel that they belong to that country, or like they don't deserve the same rights that they want. But when they came to a new country, let them to choose where they want to live. And also for newcomers, don't give up. I know the first years might be like the first 1 or 2 years might be hard, but as you get to know people, as you work in community, as you get involved in a lot of volunteer works, and it's going to be way. I'm not gonna be like I'm gonna be honest. It's not gonna get easier, but it will be so much stuff to do. But you'll get stronger. You're gonna get a lot of experience, and you would have knowledge of how to do everything and where to go. Like find people who can help you if you have like some struggles. But I just want to tell them that keep going. I know it's hard, but one day it's going to be way better than you think, and then you're gonna achieve what you want.
Thank you. Hasina, any last words you'd like to leave with us?
Yes. So as my sister says, that things are always not always easy. Just keep going, believe in yourself, and also yeah, just believe in yourself and be confident and keep going. As I said, I went through a lot of hardships and stuff. The more you face the challenges, the more it makes you stronger. So just stay strong and keep going.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate Razma and Hasina for being here and sharing today.
Yeah, thanks for having us here.
Thank you for joining the conversation. For more information on how to be involved with refugee resettlement, please visit idahorefugees.org. Mosaics is produced by the Idaho Office for Refugees with grant support from the M.J. Murdoch Charitable Trust. Music by the Afrosonics. Production in partnership with SB Studios.